Hey guys, it's Gwen, and today I'm doing a story time. This won't be my regular story time videos. This isn't going to be very funny or anything like that. It's kind of a serious video, and basically one of the main reasons why I started my channel. It's just taken me a very long time to see, or to figure out, I guess, where I wanted to go with this and what kind of videos I wanted to post and share when it comes to my birth defect. I've posted pre-surgery videos and talked about it, but I've never really started from the beginning on telling you guys what happened. That's what I'm gonna do today. Is I'm going to tell you the story of the first kidney stone I ever had and how everything kind of started. So let's get into the video. So my freshman year, I was a cheerleader and very athletic, very skinny, very tiny. People called me a stick, all that kind of stuff. I was very athletic. And I didn't drink as much water as I should have. I did drink a lot of soda. I didn't eat very healthy. My main meals were always healthy because of my mom. My parents are always wanting us to eat healthy meals. But on the side, I would eat junk food and, normal teenage stuff, and I would drink soda as well. But that's not why this happened. So at the end of the year, during summer, I was hanging out with my friend, we're gonna call her Gigi. Me and Gigi wanted to go to the summer kickoff with a guy that we're just gonna say his name's MJ because it is his actual name, but I got consent from him to talk about this. I just had waited a long time to film this video. So this guy I had been talking to, MJ, we had been talking for probably 3 weeks now, and school had gotten out and I wanted to see him. And Gigi and MJ had been friends for a while, so Gigi was like, well, I know he's going to the kickoff, we should go to it. And the kickoff was like a party, kind of, but for everyone. And there was snow cones and rides and silly stuff, It was just a fun thing that kids went to. And mind you, this was in Virginia, just to have a background setting type thing. It was really hot, and I went, and I was fine that day. We went and hung out and had fun. And then later on that night, probably about 8 p.m., 9 p.m., maybe, probably 8, I noticed I started getting some back pain. And, me being an athlete and never having any health problems besides a concussion, I really didn't think anything of it. And I've always been a regular when it comes to that time of the month. So I honestly had no idea why I was having back pain, but it was really starting to hurt. And it was on my right side, and it just really hurt. But it wasn't that bad to the point where I was telling my parents yet. So I say bye to MJ and Gigi, and I go home and I say hi to my stepdad because my mom was out of town. So my stepdad is the only one home with my brothers and I. So that night, everything's normal. I get home, I watch a show on my laptop, and I just chill. It's just a regular Saturday night, I think it was, a Saturday night. So it was just a regular night. And then I go to the bathroom and I see blood when I go to the bathroom. And my first initial reaction was that it had something to do with that time of the month. Because I'd never had a UTI, I'd never had anything like that happen to me before. So it scared me, but I didn't say anything. So I go back and I just chill out for the rest of the night, and then I go to the bathroom a second time and there's blood again. So at that point, I tell my stepdad because my mom is not here and I didn't think to text her. So my stepdad tells my mom, and my mom thinks it's a UTI. That would make sense considering that can happen with UTIs, and there's nothing else that seems out of the ordinary. My back doesn't hurt that bad at that point, so there was nothing for me to say. I figured it was just from walking around all day at the kickoff. The next morning, I woke up with that same back pain, and I went to the bathroom that morning at about 8 a.m., and there was blood again. And that time I didn't say anything because I went back to sleep. And I think about 9:30 a.m., I woke up and had probably the worst pain of my life. And my family members and my doctors also say that the reason it also was so high is because of the fear, but also it was a decent sized kidney stone, and the fear also made it hurt a lot more because I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea because there's no one in my family that has kidney stones that I know of. My grandmother actually recently found out she has gallstones, but those are totally different things. But anyway, it was the worst pain of my life. I started to yell. I texted my stepdad help in caps. I remember that. And I texted him. I was like, can you come here? Can you come help me? This really hurts. Something really hurts. Something's not right. So I get up because my stepdad's not coming. And I feel it on my right side behind my back. So that was the reason I think why I didn't get so worried, was because it was nothing abdominal that I could feel. And normally that would make someone panic is if they had abdominal pain and had never had it before. But back pain, it's like you can easily be sore from walking around a ton in a day, even if you are athletic. So I didn't think anything of it until this morning when everything was hurting really bad. So my stepdad didn't have his phone at the time, is what I found out later. So I went downstairs and I was looking for him and yelling, and I was like, Sean, I need help. That's my stepdad's name. I was like, I need help. This really hurts. And I was crying. And then I started to feel really nauseous because it really hurt. Like, you guys, I don't even know how to explain how bad it hurts. Like, they compare it to giving birth to a child. And I don't have experience with that because I'm 17, but I don't know. It really hurts. Like, I don't know. I can't even describe it, honestly. And then I started dry heaving, and that was the point where my stepdad was like, okay, we're going to take you to the ER. So I'm crying and wanting to throw up and dry heaving and excruciating pain. And we get in the car and I'm literally yelling and almost screaming because it hurts so bad. And I just remember like not even feeling like it was real in my head, like just because I was so terrified and I had no idea what was going on or why this hurt so bad, and all I could think about was how much pain I was in, and like, what do I do because it won't stop, and like, I don't know what else to do besides freak out. So we get to the ER, and immediately my stepdad tells them my symptoms, and I'm there for probably 2 minutes sitting in the waiting room, maybe not even, and I'm like yelling, and they get me in a wheelchair, and they're like, oh no, like that doesn't sound good, sounds like maybe a UTI. So they wheel me back to a room and get me on an IV, and at first it's just fluids, and then the doctor has a urine test and asks me about my pain, and I'm shaking and moving around and not able to sit still because it hurts so bad. I'm rolling on my sides, yelling, freaking out, and I can't calm down. So they asked me some questions about where my pain is, where it started, like my symptoms, that type of thing. And then they get me an IV, they have the fluids in, and then they give me morphine. And for those of you not familiar with morphine, or you've only heard about it or never experienced it or anything like that, morphine is a very serious drug. It can come in pill form, it can be through an IV. I think those are the only two ways. But that was my first time on morphine, and honestly, I passed out like that. Like I was out. And then I would just lay there and look up at the ceiling and laugh at things and talk very slowly because everything just felt weird and loopy, and that was weird. So I get an ultrasound, and they thought maybe appendicitis, but not for very long because not all of my symptoms went along with appendicitis. So I got an ultrasound, and the next thing I know, they tell me it's a kidney stone. And I'm still just sitting there like I have no idea what that is. Why is that such a big deal? Like, what is it? Why do I have it? And they say it's very uncommon for a girl my age, because keep in mind I was 15 at the time. They said it was very uncommon for a girl my age to get kidney stones, and that it could be from my amount of sodium intake or from dark soda drinking. And so they gave me a list of all the foods you're not supposed to eat that like can cause kidney stones, and like just gave us basically like directions or instructions on how to pass the kidney stone and didn't tell us to catch it. And that was something really important that I wish I would have known, was to catch the stone. Yeah. So I went home that day and I was prescribed oxycodone. So that's a little bit of a similar effect to morphine, but morphine's just very much stronger. And I don't recommend taking either one of those unless you absolutely need to. That was my first kidney stone, and honestly, thinking back to then, I don't think I ever would have imagined it becoming something. I think then I thought it was just something with my diet and that it made no sense, but that it was just something random, something that happened to me and that it didn't matter. I never would have thought that it would have affected my entire life and that it would have affected everything, because I moved to Oregon after that, and since then I've just had kidney problems. Like, it's just been problem after problem after problem. Things are getting better, but we'll see. I don't know. It is a birth defect. That is something that basically we know. So anyway, that was my first time of my kidney stone story time type thing. I hope you guys like that, and I'm sorry it wasn't super upbeat. If you guys want more videos about my kidney stones or experiences I've had with them or ERs or anything like that, comment down below and subscribe to become a part of the Skittle family. Bye guys!